and is tied to enhancing global market access for women exporters. Just to stress this topic a little bit, experts have stressed the need to bridge the gap between local female entrepreneurs and access to global markets as a solution for national development. This technical section has been designed to enlighten us on how to move from being a local business to having access in the international market, invariably contributing to the overall GDP of the Nigerian economy. To moderate this section, I would like to introduce a real woman in export, a woman who believes in supporting other women without holding back. Please help me welcome the Director, Product Development Department, Mrs. Evelyn Obidike. Please welcome her. And next to support her on this section is Binka Palace Nigeria Limited, a company that profiles in ingredient network connecting global suppliers and buyers of food, health, and natural ingredients. The company is ably represented by the founder, Ms. Khalifat Abimbola, an astute businesswoman, a born marketer, an intelligent, hard-working, and focused entrepreneur. Please, you are welcome. And let's welcome. Round of applause. And we have yet another woman here who has been doing very well in her own field of business and supporting other women in exports. The CEO, Archie Grains Farms Limited. She is a businesswoman who has been trading through the Trans-Sahara trade routes for more than 20 years. She is using the zero-waste model in processing ginger into oils and other components. She is well known over 11 countries. Please help me welcome Archie Nojed. And that's not all on our list. We have yet another wonderful woman here representing NISAT. NISAT Limited is a third-party conformity assessment and food certification company accredited to perform audits and inspection services. Please help me welcome the Group Managing Director, Annabelle Kamuche. Please make your way to the stage. So our panelists and moderators are ready. I'll advise us to give them our undivided attention as they take up this section. Thank you very much.
First technical session, and I have with me here amazing women, trailblazers, and I'm going to give them just 1 minute each to introduce themselves, starting from Archie Green.
Yes, I did. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nojed Archie. I'm the CEO of Archie Grains Farms Limited. We majorly produce, process ginger. Like the moderator said, we use the zero waste model in processing ginger into like 20 different products. We make oils, we make drinks, we make jam. We make sure there's nothing that goes as waste in ginger.
Can we have the bean calf, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kafilat Abimbola Ayeni. I'm the founder, CEO, Bimcaf Palace Nigeria Limited, an agro-food processing company that is based in Abuja, Nigeria. We process product from coconut, and we do a variety of spices. Thank you very much.
Now over to Kamuche Annabelle.
Thank you very much. My name is Annabelle Kamuche, the Group MD of NISAT. NISAT is a group of company with two independent subsidiaries, NISAT Limited, partners of ECOSAT France. ECOSAT is a third-party conformity assessment and certification body that is accredited to certify that products have complied with international standards for export. So within NISAT Limited, we have qualified auditors and inspectors for different certification schemes and scope. The reason is we are trying to reduce the cost of certification. And so we carry out the audit and inspection, and ECOSAT issues the certification or the certificate based on the report from the qualified auditor and inspector from NISAT. We also have NISAT Expert Consulting Limited that was set up to carry out training on compliance with international standards, set up supply chain structures for off-takers who don't want to backward integrate but want us to put producers together on their behalf to produce according to the standard that their market requires and ensure that the operation complies, and then we issue certification. We have also, we also provide what we call deal room service and market linkage to be able to stimulate the market, because it's one thing to comply, it's another thing to have the market to sell those products. So we also have foreign off-takers who we merge with primary producers to be able to sell their certified products or products that have complied with international standards. Thank you.
Can we clap for these amazing women? I just allow them to introduce themselves to whet our appetite, because we are here for a very great show. Now I want to talk about how these amazing women have been able to break through the barriers, and their products are making waves in the international market. I want to start with Archie Green. I'm very, very tempted. Can you raise that? What you have there? No, the ginger. Do we know what? Can you raise it up? Who knows what that is? Ginger. Yes. Ginger. What do we use the ginger to do? We use it as a confectionery, as a spice. Now I want to tell you how to tell us the history. Can you tell us a little bit how you were able to move from the natural ginger to that ginger oil? Is that a process? It's a process. You have the product, you have the processing, you have the packaging, you have the documentation, you have looking for. Can you tell us your story, please? Okay. In just 3 minutes.
Okay. You know, ginger is, I'm from Southern Kaduna, Kafanchan to be precise, and ginger is heavily male-dominated. Usually we go to the market on market days. Market day is like a social event in my community. You mustn't really have something to sell. We go to the market when it's a market day. So there was this day my aunt and I went to the market, we treated our ginger, made it clean, washed it, processed, and splitted it, took it to the market, and there was a white man who came wanting to buy at premium price. But the Weza, Wawan Kaswa, or what do you call them, Iyaloja, the cabal, the cabal came around and chased us out of the market, saying we should not sell it on premium price. We were resilient, we went back a second time, and we were chased out. Then this time around, some of the clients will follow us home. But you know, you get a lot of exposure when you go to the market, because that's where we basically get information. Then we sat back, thought about it, like, how can we do something else that the men would not chance us? We now decided to venture into processing. So we started with the oils, extracting the oil from the ginger. And then one day we were in Kaduna for a program by the Kaduna State, organized by the European Union. We went for an exhibition. We carried all of our things there. That was where I met Madam Obidike. She saw my stand, saw everything. I was like in awe, like, oh, ginger has oil? I said, yes, ginger has oil and quite a number of things. Then she bought the products, called some of the NEPC staff, asked them to collect my number, and then since then, the journey with NEPC came. Then we continued selling in small supermarkets, as well as ventured into exports. But the exports journey started with family and friends. You don't just jump on a high horse and export, you're going to suffer. We started with close family, friends, we sent to them, they send back the money, or sometimes they equally send some products we sell. It's like a circular marketing thing. We equally added an inclusive business so that when the products get there, we'll be able to absorb a little bit of the shock absorber when we don't have money. So we started doing other things like the processing into juice, the chips, the cookies, the bread, the cakes. Quite a number of NEPC staff have been our perfect clients.
Only there. And today, that small ginger that started, that mustard seed, which of the international markets or country do you have that ginger, please?
Oh, I started with Saudi Arabia because my relative lives there. I started with Saudi Arabia. We got a space in Jeddah. I literally went there to hawk. I was at Balad, Karantina, Sukaraj, selling it at tea shops. Then from Saudi Arabia, we came here for one program, Open Sweden Gate, or is it Open Gate Sweden? I can't really remember. Open Trade Gate Sweden. Yes, NEPC gave me the invite. We came, I connected with one of the emissaries, and thankfully now we are there in a small retail shop. It's not too big, but you don't despise days of little beginnings.
Okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Can we please give her a warm applause? Can you see the story? She was discovered. The market kicked her out because she was a woman, because she had premium products. She went back, she taught. She came out with processing. She saw opportunity, she jumped at the opportunity. She associated with NEPC program, and today she's over there. How many certifications do you have now?
Okay.
Be
We
getting
have
ready.
NAFDAC, we have FDA, HACCP. We're doing a partnership for the ISO 2200 and ISO 9001. Annabelle knows all that.
Over to you, Nisat. She's trailing on the parts that are being dominated by men. NISAT is the only female-owned certifying agency we have. Can we give her a hand of applause? Yes. Right. These are your women. So we want to know, there are many, many certifications. What do you have to say? What is the importance of certification? How can it be used to break the barrier? And what is the advice you have for the women? 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, and I'm honored to be one of the women amongst men. Okay, so for certification is very important if you really want to access the market, especially markets. So we have two categories of markets. So there is a niche market, and there is the regular market. So the regular market are the Asian markets where you would not get premium. But there are niche markets like the US market, the Middle East market, the EU market, where you will be able to get premium. So premium means that you're able to get profit for your effort. And certification is a proof that you have complied. So you hear some people say, oh, I have organic. If you don't have any certificate as proof of compliance, it's just mere assertion. You need that proof, you need that certificate to be able to prove to the international buyer that you have complied with their standard, or you have complied with certain standard that distinguishes your product from other products. That's number one. And then secondly, post-COVID, there's been a lot of stricter measures that have been placed by most international markets for your product to be able to enter into those markets. So I'll take, for instance, in the US, there is what is called the Food Safety Modernization Act, where the USDA and the FDA acts have been merged together to then become one act to make it easier for people to be able to comply. So that act is called the Food Safety Modernization Act. And within the Food Safety Modernization Act is what is called the Foreign Suppliers Verification Program, that insists that not only will you before, you are able to just register with FDA and export your product. But right now, even though you have registered with FDA, you have to comply with minimum food safety standard, which is either HACCP. So HACCP is called Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, or ISO 22000. You must comply with one of them to be able to get your product into the market.
Hold it there. Thank you very much. Now, what is this, please? What do you use it for? Coconut candy, everything, okay. All right. My sister here has turned it into a money spinner. Big Calf.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to tell us the story, especially with regards to appropriate sorting, and then how you made it to the market.
Thank
so
you
that
very
women.
much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Good afternoon once again. The story that Beth Bimcalf started a long time ago, and the dream of becoming an entrepreneur started right from when I finished from school. The brand coconut among my brands started when I started buying coconuts in bits to sell to people, until I met a woman who I became her plug for coconuts. I wasn't producing, I'll buy and sell. Until one day, she paid me for, I think, 25 liters of coconut oil, which was my highest order as at then. I was so excited, I ordered for the coconut oil. It came. Lo and behold, it was bad. And I don't know how to produce this coconut. I picked up my pieces. I was asking people, where can I get coconut? I got to know where to get coconut. My number one mistake when I got it was I did not even ask, do they break or can they peel? I carried the bags of coconut home. I broke myself. You can imagine how many injuries. I broke every shell myself, peeled myself, grind myself, did everything because I needed to meet up to Thursday. After my delivery, she said something. This coconut oil is totally different from everyone you've supplied before. I couldn't tell her I was sourcing it. I just said, oh, thank you, ma. We've improved. I smiled. I left the place. When I got home, the bad one, there's nothing I could do to it. I left it there. As time goes on, I realized that it is, you don't, when you, in every failure, there's an opportunity. When my client failed to give me a good quality coconut oil, it led me into a coconut processor. Ordinarily, I don't even know everything about this fruit is money. I will just buy the oil and sell. Now I sell the shell. The peel I peel from the skin is animal feed. I sell it. The skin has more oil. I extract the oil. I extract the oil from the meat. If I don't extract, I flake it into coconut flakes, or I desiccate it into desiccated coconut. So in one whole coconut, I get 4 to 5 products out of it. And this, without that failure that day, I would have never in my life imagined to be able to have one product to give me 5 line of brands, 5 line of products. And that's how it started. Right now, we now understood that if you want anything quality or you want to buy coconut, you must actually source from the right people. Because this coconut right now, mommy don't know, is Nigerian coconut. But I am telling you because of the size. And majority of coconut we as Nigerians use is not Nigeria, is Ghana. So we are begging all of you seated here to advocate for planting coconut. Join the train of becoming a millionaire in 3 years. 1 tree of coconut is enough for you in front of your house instead of just the long tree you plant. 1 tree of coconut, just what's it called, Malaysian dwarf, gives you a lot of fruit in 3 years and it's not tall. This dream of ours to have coconuts everywhere in Nigeria will become achievable if every one of us try to plant just 1 or 2 trees in our house. So we stop importation. And why do we import in Nigeria? It's because we all scream there's coconut in Badagry, there's coconut everywhere. We are actually short of whatever we have because there are a lot of processors. And everything about coconut, including the shell, is edible, is your activated charcoal. Activated charcoal for either food poisoning is also your activated carbon that is used for water treatment. The water you drink, the carbon they use in treating your water is gotten from your coconut shell. So all this is embedded in one product. On the tree there is broom. In the fruit there is water.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Now we want to, one of the technical barriers to trade is packaging. As we went around, the CEO went around this morning, we saw very beautiful products, but some of them still need packaging. So I want Archie Green to share with us, because her products have been transformed. What is your advice? Can you share with us on packaging and how packaging has helped you, packaging and labeling has helped you to break through the barrier? Thank you.
Packaging is everything in business. We initially started, well, I should be proud of how I started. We used to tie it in leather, the oil. Then we moved on. And when I got attached to NEPC, I was equally attached to She Treats. So Mr. Paul Akonde, Udofia, there was one white man, I can't remember his name, Frank. Fine. We had the training together with Binkaf in Kaduna. Packaging for international standards, where they gave us food grade quality, so that the packaging material itself would not affect the content that we keep. And I remember the first time I took my product to Sudan, they did not believe it was made in Nigeria, because from where we started and where we are now, this can sit comfortably on the shelf of any supermarket in the world. So packaging is very, very important. But you also need to understand that there are packaging for different regions. You need to package for Asian countries, there's what they require. Then if you're packaging for the Americas, there's equally what they, even in labeling, NEPC tried very well in doing all that for us. Initially, we didn't know that even in dating and labeling, it's different with regions, but now we're good and we're doing the step down.
Hold it there, because we will come back. The experience she's sharing did not just happen in a day. Yet, if you've been following her product, you will know that it has evolved over time. Now, I want to come back to Binkaf. Binkaf, yes. What can you say about documentation? And what can you say about the physical presence? Because if you are talking about marketing, trade barriers, talking about the 4 Ps, product, price, promotion, place, people, physical, and the process. Yes, talk to us about documentation. Annabelle, you get ready to talk to us about traceability and the process. Thank you.
Okay. Documentation is very key in food processing. One of the major challenges entrepreneurs face is lack of documenting your process, and it's actually a step to failure. When I say this is because most of us don't even have the same idea you had when you started your product. That means whatever you produce in 2018, you can't even repeat the same thing in 2023. And the uniqueness of your product should stand on your consistency. Your product must have this consistency in quality at every point in time. That's number one. Number two, the reason why your product consistency and quality will remain the same depends on where your consistency in buying same quality of raw material from the same source. Changing your source will affect the traceability of your product. We got to meet Madam Annabelle recently. We've met before, but we now got to, I think we're doing a kind of inter-brand marriage right now, and we realize that our perfection is actually still, to her standard, is still short of like 20%. Even if she was extremely impressed, but she wanted us, she told us one thing. And by the time I told her my dream, she said the only way you can achieve that is to include traceability. And even if you have all these documents, it doesn't work if you can't tell us who are your farmers. What are your farmers using? And you need to let us meet your farmers. All these are involved in the quality of your product. You must be able to ascertain the quality of your product at any point in time you are being pointed at. Because it affects you, because to me, I tell people, your brand is your face. And if you can't stand in front of your brand, meaning you're actually failing before you actually start. Thank you very much.
Please, can we clap for her? These are trade secrets you can't find even in Harvard Business Bulletin. Yes, these are trade secrets, and these women are ready to reveal it today. Can you give them another hand of applause? Yes. Now, Annabelle, I know that you have whet the appetite of these women that are here, and they're asking, how do I get the HACCP? How do I get the what do you call it? How do I get the halal? How do I get this? What is the process? Must I have a stainless steel? Must I build a new factory? So can you just, from the layman, different according to categories, how can they get there? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so for standards, the first thing one needs to know is to be able to have market intelligence. You have to understand the market that you want to sell your product. That will determine the kind of certification that you would require for your product. So if, for instance, you want to sell your product in the US, you would have to understand what kind of standard is the US market in terms of the national standard for the US. And then there are standards that are called voluntary standards that are market-driven. Even though they are voluntary, they are market-driven because consumers look out for those kind of labels. So you also have to now understand, okay, if my product, for instance, is ginger, and I want to sell ginger in the US, what kind of certificates will accompany my product that will make consumers want to buy that product? So for instance, if I want to do conventional ginger, so conventional ginger is ginger that your farmers or you produced using chemical, fertilizer, herbicide, pesticide, for instance, you would have to comply with ASTA, which is called the American Trade Spice Association standard, so that your product will be able to get into the US market. Then if it's organic, for instance, your product has to comply with the USDA organic regulation and have certificate as proof of compliance. If you are processing, you have to comply with the HACCP because of the Food Safety Modernization Act, or comply with the ISO 22000. You have to first understand your market. You have to also understand the certificates that accompany your product. So different markets look out for different standards and certificates. You have to understand that. That is number one. And then traceability is everything. It is only in Nigeria you will find people who are processing products and they don't know where the primary raw materials that they are using is coming from. So I've had interaction with a lot of producers, and the first thing I ask is, where do you get your raw material from? Oh, some people say I buy from open market. No, I have somebody who supplies to me. But they are not even able to trace, for instance, that this ginger is coming from 3 farmers in a location in Kafanchan, for instance. And this is how they are able to cultivate. The first thing I would say, you might say, okay, I'm not doing a lot. Maybe I require just 1 ton annually. What you can do, you even need just 1 farmer. So if, for instance, you are doing ginger, and what you need is 1 ton every year, please get a farmer who is able to produce 1 ton of ginger, or 2 farmers or 3 farmers. That way you are able to ensure that you know what they do at the primary level. Because most of the time, what they do at the primary level affects your end product. So if they have pesticide residue on your ginger, by the time you produce ginger powder or ginger oil, that ginger oil, when they take it for lab analysis, will have pesticide residue. So you have to train them or get someone to train them and then monitor to ensure that they are doing the right thing. And that way you have consistent quality, and somebody does not buy your product today and it's good. And then they buy tomorrow, and then the thing is not as good as it used to be. It is not good when you are exporting. That would put your people, the international buyers off. You have to set up a traceability system where you are able to say to me, for instance, my product is coming from farmer A in Kafanchan. Or if you are doing plantain chips, my product is coming from Edo State, this particular place, or this particular farmer in Edo State. This is what their farming practices are. You even have to get into those kind of details. And then for the issue of the certification, some people will say certification is very expensive. You can come in as a group and get what is called a group certification, where each of your products, each of you have your unique identification number, but the certification will be a group certification so that it reduces the cost that is required. And then there are a lot of international donors that are ready to work with people who want to get certifications. And you can approach them as a woman business. You can approach them and say, look, this is what I want to do. And NEPC is doing fantastic when it comes to certifications. You can also approach them and they will put your name among the list of companies that they would help to get certification. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please applaud her? Yes. Yes. Now we want to look at people. Remember I said 7 P's. It used to be 4 P's, but more than with the coming of COVID and other changes in the international scene. Now we have 7 P's. We have the product, we have the price, we have the promotion, we have the place, we have the people, we have the process, we have the physical. Now, we want to talk about the importance of people. When we are talking about people, we are talking about the capacity building, the training, and then the CSR. How do you, as a woman, treat your workers? So I want Binkaf to talk to us about that, and then Archie Green will also talk to us. Archie Green will talk about CSR. Binkaf will talk to us about training. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mom. This job, it cannot be done alone. You can't achieve anything when you say, I'm doing it alone. Meaning you want to remain on your dining table, doing it alone, and you're not ready for export. The truth is that you can't be your brand without your workers. They can't even be you without your staff. And I must tell you, how you treat them matters. And I'm not saying those that you employ working directly under you alone. I'm talking even including the farmers that supply you products, raw materials. Why do I say this? At BIMCAF, we have farmers that gives us raw material far from Sokoto. I've not seen them before in my life. I was given just a contact, and they've been our suppliers since we started. And I must tell you, I get concerned about them. Even in this cashless policy, I still ask them, how are you surviving? What is going on? One even told me if I wrap 2,000 or 3,000 inside wrapper, I should just fold it and put it inside scarf and send it through a driver. He will collect it. I'm just giving you an example of how you can actually touch life. During this cashless policy, trust me, my worker stays very far. But I made it a compulsion that I will go to filling station and stay after selling every day. I collect cash in the filling station, pay extra to give my workers to come to work in the day. During COVID-19, we made sure that my workers, even as they did not come to work, we paid them their salary. We gave them foodstuff. We helped. In short, it wasn't just about COVID. We made it a continuous thing that we must give them something to support them. Because your workers are part of you. If the business is just all about you, it is me, it is my own. You will not grow. But you need to treat your staff well. You need to train them properly. Recently, Madam Annabelle came to our place, and I told her she was going to be surprised if she comes back next. No matter how good this place looks, we're going to make it better. Now, Madam Annabelle is a signature of scare in my factory. The woman is coming today. They'll tell me we did not do anything. Everything is intact. I'm just using her as a point to make sure everything is intact. She's now our new NAFDAC check. Now, let me tell you something. If you don't treat your staff well, they are the one that will break you and fall you. So you must always make sure that you train them properly, starting from the point of when they want to come in. See, let me tell you something. They can't all dress the way you want. Trust me. They can't all wear what you want them to wear, looking sharp the way you want them. I think I've resolved to something. For those that have been to my facility, they can actually testify to this. We have Ankara Day. We have T-shirt Day. We provided them with this uniform for one reason. We don't want anybody to come at any point in them and meet them on care.
Thank you very much. Please, can we clap for her? Yes, and that's the woman in us. Yes, consciously, we take care of people around us. Now, I'm going to allow these beautiful women, these trailblazers, to give us just one quote. One quote. Yes. What do you want to tell the women? Yes.
There's a saying in Hausa, Gobe ya fi yau babba, like tomorrow is bigger than today. So if you want to get into export for tomorrow, you need to work very hard today because tomorrow is endless.
Can you also tell us something about that rainy season? Yeah.
Okay. Relating to what Binkaf said, like you have to treat your staff nice. There's a saying that, it's equally a saying that during the rainy season is when, I better say it better, I can say it better in Hausa. Adamina ake sani dan kauye na da wayo. It's during the rainy season. When I translate, it means it's during the rainy season you know that the village man is a smart man. The reason is, some of my staff are smarter than me, and if I just whisk like this, something goes. So when you come and you become a family, like during production times, we cook lunch and dinner. And when I ask one woman to come work for me, she will come with like 5 children because they are rest assured of lunch and dinner. This way, you get involved in their lives. You get involved. If they have naming ceremony, you're there. Sure. If they have funerals, you're there. If their children are going to school, you're there. One way or the other, you become a family, and then it sustains the business better.
Please, let's clap for her. That's the women in us. Today is International Women's Day. So anywhere you are as a woman, please look around, touch life, touch the people. Thank you very much. Bimka, one, then.
All right, thank you. For women to trade globally, they need to remove trade barriers that impede women access to international markets, improve women access to education, finance and services, and digital education and technology. The need for standardization is key, and you can get all this in one building, is an NEPC. Yeah. I'm a proud NEPC ambassador. There is nothing BIMCAF will have been today if not for the help of NEPC. Starting from all our certification to everything we've got, it started from NEPC. From how our packaging became this standardized and everything we do, it's from NEPC. Information is around in NEPC. You don't need to go far. Right from the reception here, somebody will direct you to the right place to go. You are in the right place. Thank you very much.
Now we have Madam Annabelle. Please, your last quote.
Thank you very much. So for women, I think my last statement to everybody is to take away this mindset of I am a woman. For me, there are 2 things I've removed from my dictionary. It's called impossible and cannot. There is nothing impossible. There is nothing that I cannot do. Through God that strengthens me, yes, but there is nothing I cannot do. So for you as a woman, please just look at yourself first as a human being and then look for gaps, because that is what I did with NISAT. I found a gap in the market. I filled that gap in the market by providing solutions to people I am making money. So look at where there are gaps in your locality, in Nigeria, fill those gaps, and then people will pay you for doing something that you are actually enjoying doing. So please, let every woman make up their mind that I will not think as a woman anymore. I will think outside the box. Because women actually don't think outside the box. It is extraordinary women that think outside the box. And I want everybody here to become extraordinary, so you begin to think outside the box. Thank you.
Thank you, but I also want to tell you that these days, women break the box. Yes, we break the box. Before COVID, we were thinking outside the box, but now we have broken the box and we are moving. Women, can we clap for these wonderful people? Don't go. We have question and answer, 15 minutes. Yes, 15 minutes, question and answer. See, I will give them numbers. Just the first 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, madam. It's been a pleasure frolicking with NEPC. I hope I get one of these three women too. My question goes to Madam Coconut Flakes. Your packaging is very wonderful. I asked one of your sales girls, and I was told that it's actually by you. That it's done in your factory. The packaging. Yeah, and that you actually,
material or the packaging?
The packaging itself.
No, the packaging material is made in Nigeria, but the packaging is done in the factory. Yes.
That's what I was told. You actually do for others too.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
So if I'm interested, I'll come along and how is the pricing like? Because I
trust me, it's friendly. We have clients here. I just don't want to tell them to wave their hands if they don't want to, but sincerely, we have clients in this hall. Trust me.
So I'll be interested to get to come to the factory.
No problem.
And have a talk on the packaging. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, one thing I want to say is that all these women that I have up here, they are giving back to the society. They are already training other women. So you are free to join them. Thank you.
Please, another person.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
I am Dr. Mrs. Victoria King Wachuku from Mbeng Adwe Mushrooms Farms Global Limited.
Okay.
I want to appreciate the panelists. This is very interesting, very enlightening.
Thank you.
We appreciate you so much. We have learned so much. My question is not really a question, it's information that I'm seeking. BIMCAF, you talked about Malaysian dwarf. You advocated for us to be planting coconuts, yes, and I'm interested. So, is there any way we can get this Malaysian dwarf seedlings?
Yes, I am from now to the next 4 years, I'm the National Financial Secretary of NACOPMAN, which is the Association of Coconut Processors, Marketers in Group. Yes. So please, you can discuss with me outside. I'll give you the contact for you to get the seedlings.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we have yet about 3 opportunities. 3 more questions. Is there anybody? Okay. Excuse me.
Somebody is up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Permit me to stand on existing protocol. I'd like to say a very, very big thank you to each and every one of the women on the high table. Ms. Obidike, your enthusiasm for this area is infectious. You have infected so many of us. The lady in certification in NISAT, BIMCAF, my baby sister, you know now, you're my #1 woman crush in exports. And then the lady in Ginger, thank you so very much. It's been, I just got the message last night, and when I told my husband, he said, you're not doing anything else today, you're going to NEPC. Please, I'd just like to ask that there are lots of us who are interested, but when you begin to look at all the different requirements, it can be very intimidating. I think there's quite a few people who know about what NEPC does, but when you look at the website, I think if you have a little bit more structure, where you have people like us that will start from kindergarten, you know, and we grow up in the process. I'm not sure that the publicity is done very well. Most of the time when I hear about these things, I hear from someone else. And people are also, the other people who are also interested. I'm a lawyer myself, and I have people who are interested in becoming experts in trade documentation. So is there any training or any facility of that kind? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, my beloved sister. Yes. Can I ask you a further question? Are you registered with NEPC? No, if you're no, you are not. Don't be ashamed. Why I ask is that when you register, we have the Trade Information Department, and the director is right here. And we have programs according to the age. Let me call it age in exports. So we have export for beginners, we have export clinic, then we have different capacity building, then we have the sheet trade, also. Then we have specific training on sectorial basis. Then we also have specific training on market basis. Like the the director IEO, last 2 weeks, they had training here for people on Texas and leather for the agua, preparing them to capture or to export under agua. Then we also have briefings that they normally do, like before they go to any international trade fair, they have briefing sessions preparing exporters for a particular market. Then we have maybe training specifically for cashew, specifically for organic certification. So we have different types. Since you have been to our website, we keep evolving. We are evolving, we are changing to make sure that we remain relevant. Registration is very, very simple. From the comfort of your home, you can register, and you can get the certificate within 24 hours if all your documents are correct, and you print it yourself. You don't need to see anybody's face. You don't even need to come here. So, but that notwithstanding, I want to tell you that with the hashtag Export for Survivor, we have started a journey, and we will start making more. We will increase the noise. In fact, it's not noise. We increase the awareness. And my CEO is here, and if there is anything, I'm sure that maybe tomorrow he will tell us to come with our canvas. I don't know, maybe it's in Castina or for the Export for Survivor work. We went to Lagos, we shook Lagos. We went to Akwa Ibom, we shook Akwa Ibom. So now, maybe with what you have said, he may call us to come out tomorrow. I hope you will come out. Thank you very much. Please, before you go, see the Director Trade Information, Mr. Andy. He's right here. The gentleman, the he for she that is here, and he will put you through. Thank you very much. I think we are done. That will be the last question, because we still have another, because we still have another session. Yes, after these two, that's it. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dola. My question is for the coconut madam. Sorry, ma. I want to find out, do you train people on how to process, how to go about it, make sure that, they come out with a quality product from it? And how do we go about it if you train people on it?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
Let me quickly say this. I think last year, was it last year or 2021, She Trades visited my factory, and they met with the team from NEPC, with the EDN, and they met the women that were trained and processed their product from our facility. So one of the things we do, it gives us money, ma. So one of the things we do is training, because you see, you are not the competitor. It is that products crawling into our own country that is our problem. So you and me and every other person, no, the sky is very, very light for all of us to fly in. So please, you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
That's the spirit of cooperation. I think there's one more.
Thank you all. Good afternoon. Women in the house. All protocols stand on. My name is Ade Adedeji. I'm representing Dado Services Limited. I just want to contribute one or two things to the women in the house. First of all, I want to appreciate the women in the high table. You've done well. You've tried a lot. It's not easy to be there. It's not easy. But for you to have the ginger, because that is what women do. We easily give up. Once we have small barrier like this, it's I can't go ahead with this one. It's too tedious. It's 2 days. But you have to put all your energy. Behind Chief Mrs., there is a lot of obstacle there. So you have to put up all your energy to be where BCAF and my sister from Kaduna is. My final things go to NISAT. Madam, you are tremendously doing well. I dove my cap for you. I met you in one seminar like this. And after that interaction, your organization still follow me up. not seeing again, oh, they still follow me up. They give me emails. They give me call that, madam, you need to come for this certification. Your organization needed it. Not most organizations do that. Once after 1 or 2 contacts, that is all. But yours, you keep on pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. Thank you so much. And every other woman, nothing's come for free. Because by the time you go to them that you want this, you want that, you need to pay. All what you can do is that just talk to them that I can't afford this. Let me pay instrumentally. Let me pay like this. Let me do like this. Nothing's come for free. Please try and keep up. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, NEPC. I have benefited a lot. I am a silent person. I don't talk so much. I don't make noise. But I give every kudos to every NEPC. And the packaging department. Thank you, Mr. Paul. We're really grateful. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon once again. Okay, I hope we have 1 or 2 things we are picking today. And that's the essence of this program, is to empower you. Now, we went around the stand this morning and realized one thing, which has been mentioned by somebody. Let me ask somebody a question without pointing at anybody. Okay, you know, when I am before women like that, I am usually very shy, so you bear with me. Very shy, very, very shy. Okay, let me ask a question. Madam, do you do makeup? Okay, who does makeup, please? Just it's a straight question. Anybody that does makeup? Okay, you do makeup. Why do you do makeup? I can't hear you. No. Okay. What else do you do? Who does makeup again? Who does makeup? Yes. Why do you do makeup? It makes you feel good, right? Okay. Why do you do makeup? Somebody else? Sorry? You look? To look fine. This woman is saying, to look fine. Okay. Now, the truth about it is that one way or the other, women do makeup. The makeup may not be shouty, it may not be big, it may not be loud, but one way or the other, every woman do makeup. And the question is that, why would a woman do makeup? It's to look good. And because every woman wants to look good. That's the truth about it. Every woman wants to look good. Every woman wants to be admired, or even for her husband to even admire her. Why? There was one word, packaging. The chances are, if you don't package yourself, even as a single lady, nobody will look at you. True or false? True or false? That's the truth. Well, some people are saying false, but if I have 80% of people saying true, that means I'm right. Good. So the point is that you can have a very wonderful lady with a good character, home material. She cooks well, she is kind, she is this, but on the face of it, she's looking very dirty. So no man will even approach her to know how kind she is, or how good she is, or how well she can cook. Am I right? It's the same thing with your product. On the face of it, the product may be good, but if it's not well packaged, nobody will even want to buy it to find out how good, how sweet, how nice that product is. So the key word here is packaging. And that's one of the things we saw when we went around the stand today. So the moment we did that, I told the director, I said, let her get all the names of people that participated in this program. By April, not May, April, or even either March or April, we are going to invite you to train you on packaging. You are coming back here. You are coming back here. Yes. We all invite you and train you on packaging. The training that you are supposed to pay 50 or 60 or even 100,000 to be trained is going to be free. The only thing you need to do is to carry yourself and come here. As a matter of fact, we are even going to fit you. Is that okay? So please, we are doing this to empower you. We are doing this also because we know that by the time you grow economically, your families are growing. By the time you grow, Nigeria is growing. That's the essence of it. If you want to, I keep on saying, if you actually want people to export, let the woman export. Because if she export, Nigeria export. Thank you.
So to wrap things up, I want to invite the ED. Please come up stage to take a group picture with the moderators and the panelists, just for a minute. The directors as well, please, you're all invited. Director, sir. Yes. Please, sir, let's go upstairs.
So quickly, we're going on to the next section on the agenda, another technical session, and we're going to have another group of panelists and a moderator to take us on financial inclusion for women in export. It is known that whether women work in the home or outside of it, whether they are employed or self-employed, that financial inclusion provides women the opportunity to have access to wealth, to generate income, and to manage risks, and also participate fully in the economy of the nation. So this section is basically to educate us on how to get that financial inclusiveness so that we can move forward in our business. And to moderate this session is no other than Mrs. Titi Ojo. Please let's appreciate her. Mrs. Titi Ojo is a business consultant and entrepreneurship development practitioner. She's an astute professional with over 19 years of experience in youth empowerment, training and capacity building, project management, information technology, and strategic leadership. She is a professional trainer and a business coach who creates value, adds value, and drives value. Please, women in the house, let's welcome Mrs. Titi Ojo to moderate our second technical session. And on the panel, we have a woman with experience in exports, and this is a woman you should be listening to when she comes up here. She's the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, GACON, Her Royal Majesty, Ada Chidumem Okoro. She's a renowned economist and chartered accountant, a great achiever who won the prestigious Nigerian Presidential Award of the Woman Exporter of the Year 2010 for non-oil exports. Now you know why you should be listening to her. She sits on the board of several companies and mentors youth and women. Who knows, you might be her next mentee. Please, let's appreciate Her Royal Majesty. Next on the list of panelists is the founder, Techiva Technologies, Mrs. Zainab Musa. Mrs. Zainab Musa is an IT specialist with extensive experience in managing all facets of IT projects and infrastructure. She represented Nigeria in the She Trades Hackathon Dubai 2021, where she took the first position amongst 100 applicants from around the world. This is a woman who has been able to put Nigeria on the world map in a male-dominated sector. Please let us celebrate Mrs. Zainab Musa, founder, Techiva Technologies. I will hand over now to the moderator for the rest of the section. Oh, there's one more person. My apologies, please. The most important person, a banker. And in financial inclusion, I left her out. My apologies. So let me welcome the branch manager from EcoBank, Mrs. Chizoba Ahiomogbe. I took a crash course for her surname, so if I got it wrong, correct me when you come up rather. So Mrs. Chizoba is the branch manager in EcoBank who was able to grow from the lowest level of a teller to a branch manager. And she said to me, I have 3 core values that have taken me through life: consistency, clarity, and integrity. And these virtues, these core values, should be passing on to us this afternoon, even as she teaches us how to get financial inclusiveness. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation, Madam. So now I can officially hand over to the moderator. Thank you, ma'am.
So welcome, my panelists. We have power women on this panel. I met Madam Gakon, and she said they call her Madam Gakon, so I will stick to Madam Gakon. And of course, I met also Tekiva, that is Zainab, and your story really inspired me, indeed. And I really think that beyond this meeting, we should engage her truly. We're already talking. I have to engage her for something. It has to, because seeing women in tech doing great things and winning awards, I think that's brilliant. And it talks about role modeling. How do we also model around people like this? So that's really great. EcoBank, thank you so much. Last minute things and you're here. It'll be fine, okay? So we're talking about financial inclusion. Financial inclusion for women in export. And when I read, of course, according to the World Bank, I thought it's important to talk about what is financial inclusion according to the World Bank definition. It says that financial inclusion means that individuals and businesses have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs. So don't forget that. It says have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs. And so when we talk about gender issues around finance, really, you now see where the inclusion is important, because we're talking about how does financial inclusion impact women, how it impacts men. Of course, we're talking about a whole gamut of people. So it's not only women, but today we're having the International Women's Day, and we're going to be focusing a lot on women, okay? And I would like you to be free about sharing your experiences. Don't be coded about anything, truly, because we are here to learn. And I know that we're in Nigeria. There's a lot of things that are going on that are also really good. So even here, I expect that we would also share information about what's going on in the sector so that our women can take home something really useful, and we can also follow up with you. So I'm going to start my questions. I'm going to direct it first at Madam Gakon. Madam Gakon is an astute exporter, and I'm sure you've been able to access finance before, either from commercial banks or development finance. Can you share with us your experience, perhaps in a minute? How has it been accessing finance? As a woman, I think it's important for you to tell us. And if you felt that there could be some improvement, perhaps let's start with what worked well. And if there were anything in that whole process that you felt could be improved, let's hear it. We want to hear your experience. All right, Madam Gakon, over to you.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Discussing this topic. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Discussing the topic we've been given, financial inclusion for women in exports. You will agree with me that this topic sounds very academic. And because we are in a gathering of women, I want to demystify it so that we are on the same page and we understand ourselves. To start with, in the last at least 6 weeks in Nigeria, we know what has been playing out, right? Don't we? Don't we? So, in a nutshell, that is financial inclusion. It means the greater percentage of the population are financially excluded. They don't have access to financial services. I, for one, I didn't get to see the new Naira notes until last week, because to me, I don't need them. I function with or without cash. So that's financial inclusion, level 1. Level 2, women in the house, I'm sure some of us use our phones, order fruits, order foodstuff, order services that we use in our houses, don't we? So, and when you order these services, you have them delivered to your doorstep and you pay for it. It means you're within the financial inclusive bracket, right? So having said that, she has defined financial inclusion at the level of Dogotora Chiabi. Pardon my Hausa language. So coming to her question, yeah, getting to the level we have been, you will ask, what is even my business? What do we do for a living? The business I run, we outsource farming, meaning we are into huge farming, but using cooperative associations, monitoring what they are doing, giving them stipends, paying for labor, giving seedlings, giving fertilizer, and then they now pay back with their products. I am not into retail exports, unfortunately. The company I run, our own exports is only in containers, container load. And then we're also into processing, huge processing and real exports of these processed goods. What we are doing in the world economy attracted the attention of international agencies, like you said, who came all the way from America to come and partner with us and use the American people's taxpayers' money to give us assistance, to empower us further, to boost our processes so that we can do better globally. Having said that, you want my experience with banking facilities and funding for the export market, non-oil export market. If the truth must be told, I don't think funding from commercial banks will help our matter. Thank you. Reason is they'll ask you for collateral up to the extent of, please, my apologies, my fellow panelists. They will ask you for collateral up to the extent of bringing your husband or your wife or your children, or maybe your grandchildren like me. Then, apart from the collateral, the interest rate, you can't cope with it. We are looking at maybe in the region of 28% and above. And with export markets, given the challenges that we face in the Nigerian economy, logistics, and stories everywhere, you can't really trade or do export with commercial bank loans. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. So you mentioned two things. Collateral, it's a big issue. Interest rates of banks. If I'm correct as well, you talked about getting grants from USAID, and that has really been very helpful for your business. So I know that quite a number of us have been able to get grants, actually international grants. How many of us in this building have benefited from grants from international agencies? Just a show of hands. We have quite a few. How many of us have benefited from grants from, not grants, funding from development finance institutions like Nexim, like the Bank of Industry? How many out of all the women in here? Wow, only one hand is going up. This is a serious matter. It is very serious. It's looking more serious than I thought. Okay, but yeah, you can trust NEPC for that. Trust me, I know this. Yeah, let's celebrate NEPC, truly. Because when it comes to facilitating, preparing you for this, I guess this NEPC is the go-to. And I know I have EcoBank is here. Okay, let's see what question I'm going to ask you. Yes, so tell me. I'm sure you have financial products. So we're talking about financial products. And when we talk about financial inclusion, we're talking about products that meet the need of women. And when we talk about women, we have a whole gamut of women. So we have women in the urban centers, we have in rural communities, we have very educated women, really elitist. We have those that are not so educated. We have the young women, we have the old women. What kind of packages or what kind of packages do you have in terms of financial tools or packages? Yeah, I'll call the packages all the same for women to meet women's financial needs. Can you just articulate them, even if it's your top 3?
Yeah.
Because our women are here, and we're going to pursue you after now to see how that will work for us.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, women. First of all, I want to say, women, girls, congratulations. I want to say a small quote by Miles Monroe. He said, if you give a woman groceries, she'll give you a meal. If you give a woman a house, she'll become a home. If you give a woman, a sperm, she'll give you a baby. Women are creators and nurturers. So in this line, EcoBank had these various surveys from the regions we have in Nigeria, and they found the urgent need to have a product for women. And this product is called Elevate. It simply means I grow by lifting others. This product is designed strictly for women-focused businesses and women-owned businesses. And these women should produce or sell, manufacture products meant for women. So in a way, it's sort of, going around women. The owners, the workers should be majorly women. The products should be used majorly by women. So these products are looking for ways and means to support women. No matter your educational background, your qualification, your experiences, there's something for you. Number 1, we create forums to bring women together, to train them, and to network, and to know their specific business needs or financial needs, and to help align them on what is suitable to grow their business financially. Then number 3 is we also engage in as I said earlier, grants. Okay. We bring people who are equipped to give those grants and get the women who are qualified to receive the grants together. And they go through and make their own selections. Then number 4 is this. Number 3, these women can access facilities at a reduced rate. But this rate is tied to your business plan, your expertise, your experience, and length of year in business. All this will help them profile appropriately to enable you get the appropriate sum that will help you run your stuff effectively, and also have income set aside as you repay your loan either monthly or quarterly. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I have a follow-on question on that.
Yeah.
What has been your success rate on this? Because I also know that in accessing loans, there are technical barriers as well.
Yes.
So you can tell me, yeah, we have all of this, but what's the success rate?
Okay.
That's critical.
Okay, the one I was involved in was middle of last year. It was women, 50 women speak. 50 women speak. We always go through organizations or cooperatives. We don't go to individuals. We want a group of women who we can hold someone, because this is their leader. We trust her leadership. It's a group of people that we can go through those in head of the organization and bring them together and profile them. The ones I was involved in after COVID, 2 projects. Let me say percentage success rate was like 60%. Why? We had lots of defaulters. They give you a loan between maybe 100K to 5 million. But most times, the way to use the funds appropriately, the way to serve and also roll back your profits, they had some issues on that, so we had defaulters. So I would say 60% success rate.
Right, 60% seems like a very good score to me.
But there's still room for improvement.
Yeah. But we're saying 60% in terms of the What did you call that? Is it MVIT? What did you call it?
Elevate.
Elevate. How many of us have heard about Elevate before? Because this is my first time of hearing about the product. That's the first thing. And it'd be good for you to tell us how to access Elevate.
Okay.
So if you could just, in a minute,
Okay.
perhaps.
Normally,
Yes.
Elevate is an EcoBank product for women-focused and women-owned businesses. In this business, the board should be at least 30% women. The owners should be at least 50% women. The workers should be at least 30% women. And they'll also produce goods mainly to be used by or for women. This qualifies them for that Elevate product. It's for women, to support women to grow.
Okay, so, Madam Gakon, do you want to interrogate that statement? Because I see you mutter something to her, so maybe you want to say it. Or you don't want to say it, keep it. I thought I should catch you in motion. Okay, so I know there'll be a lot of questions from the floor, so let me not exhaust all the questions yet. I'll move to, I need to get that name well, Zainab Tekiva Technologies. So I'm really so impressed with what you're doing. Really impressed with what you're doing. And I'd like you to talk to us about tech right now, okay? It's about technology. I want to ask you about tech. You know, recently we had the issue of the new Naira notes, and we couldn't get notes, and everybody had to go through the digital route. And somehow we're able to see that not many people, there's a lot of exclusion in that digital space. That's the truth. Interestingly, I was in my village in January. I spent some nights there. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. Not because I was eating pounded yam and egusi soup, but because internet there was so good. I mean, it was good. It was better than Abuja where I lived. And that's the truth. Every video I watched was streaming powerfully on my emails. It was perfect. And for a minute, I asked myself, before I got here, my thinking was that all these people were excluded from internet and all that. So where did I get the idea from? And so when this happened, this issue of the Naira thing, I was wondering if there was a bank there, was an ATM there, it could have worked perfectly well. Yeah, that's the truth. And of course, I don't know how we'll do this, but from the technology perspective, how do we get more people into this band? Because it's something we cannot escape. That's the truth. I love that we're going digital, because that's what the world is going, that's what it is. There's not two ways about it. But looking at the technology aspect, what can we do better in this regard? Now that I've told you that in my village there's internet, isn't it? So can you give us some insights into this?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. So concerning technology, first I'd like to say that the rural community is a bit tricky. So you can't just go and start putting masks and telling everybody, start using your phone. So you have to start from somewhere.
Right.
So there's the advocacy part, there's the awareness. You have to make people understand what is happening. You could do e-money, you don't have to. You could do the low-cost regular accounts. E-money where you can get your debit cards. Simple things you could be able to do with your phones. You could go the USSD route. You don't have to spend so much. So, but first you have to tell these people, okay, we're in the village, get the chiefs or the community leaders to be able to cascade down whatever you want to do. So technology can be very effective, especially in the rural areas where you just mentioned internet is good. We would have run there.
I thought of staying behind, but
yeah. So, but there's a lot of there are things that it's just because they don't know they can access these things. Yes. So technology is wide. I'm going to the rural route because like they've been really excluded. So something has to be done. The NEPC can partner. We can do financial inclusion programs, financial literacy, the financial services. There's so much that can be done to handle that aspect, and here as well. The urban community, just earlier on I heard the programs that would be handled here. The DG mentioned some trainings.
Right.
So these are things that would really increase, would be able to, bridge the digital divide.
Right.
That gender access gap, I saw somewhere that it's 6%. It has been since 2011. It's still there. This is something we can do to improve that aspect.
So I love the statistics you just gave. 2011, you said. That gap has always been there. And this is 12 years after. And we're still talking about it. So we need to put some deliberate effort into it.
And so that, and it has to be sustainable. Not something we just do 2, 3, no, something that can cut across a lot of places, something that can go on, even when you're not there, it will continue.
Right. So thank you for that. I think you threw a challenge to NEPC, actually, for financial awareness, financial literacy, which is absolutely important. So I came from the city to see the internet was really good in my village, but I don't think they even know how well this thing hit me. They might not have known. I'm coming with the mentality. I saw the internet, I used it, it was great. And it's possible somebody is living in that same place and doesn't even know half of what I took. I took away a testimonial, but for them, they're still sitting thinking nothing is happening here. So that awareness is absolutely necessary. And so that's a challenge that you've thrown to NEPC. Now, Madam Gakon, back to you. So when we talk about exports, we talk about the value chain of export. And we're talking about production of course, primary production, and there are different aspects of that value chain anyway before we get to the upstream where you play there, you export in containers. Most of the things that go into your containers were produced. Some women have been actively involved in all of that, in planting, in farming, even in processing. So when we talk about financial inclusion, so we need to really look at all the women that are participating in the chain, not just the final person that sends the goods across the Atlantic or across the borders. So what would you say in regards to the value chain itself, value chain financing? In Nigeria, for example, I'm sure perhaps you needed funds for some of the people that work for you, that ends up with the aggregation you make at your own end. What would you say about value chain financing? What do you think needs to change? What needs to improve? Because really, you get to the bank, they'll tell you they're only just financing your final shipment. But every other process that leads to it is not their business. So tell us about it. What's your experience in that space?
Thank you once more, Madam Moderator. For the value chain, we are looking at the bottom of pyramid farmers. We are looking at the aggregators. We are looking at the processors. We are looking at women running logistics organizations, maybe warehousing, transportation, forwarding agents, and then the exporters. For right now, we have our own in-house solution towards helping the bottom of pyramid farmers. But then our scope is limited based on the grants we got from USAID. Right. So the impact is not going to be so much. So that's why we are calling on our own regulators, CBN, to come to our aid. Women in exports, they need assistance in form of grants to touch the people at the bottom of the pyramid. Wow. Those people that maybe their income within the whole year, their turnover is in the region of, say, 250,000 naira. Most of them don't make up to 1 million naira. So definitely, they don't even qualify for microfinance facilities. So that is what we have done. The rest of the value chain, if you're talking about aggregators, their turnover is higher, they will still need to go and borrow, unless they get grants. And of course, again, talking about grants, NEPC has been doing marvelously well.
Right.
Pushing, pulling, attracting, and ensuring that they help the women in the export value chain at all levels. So I give them that kudos. for others in the value chain. They just have to go and sort out their funding challenges. Wow. Thank you.
They have to sort out their funding challenges. Oh dear, we shouldn't leave them in the dark. So I also feel that I love the fact that you're able to support some of these women through the grants you received, because of course grants also helps with patient funding. There's no pressure. You can design programs around which, you know, the women at the bottom of the pyramid, you can pull them up and hold them through the process, and at least they have some funding to do what they need to do. So you're putting a voice, really, advocacy for grants. Am I right? You're advocating for more grants. Yes. You're advocating for more grants. And I'm hoping that our women can have access to that, really, if you ask me. Now, you talked about grants, EcoBank. How has the grants thing worked too? Let's look at it. Because I also work in a space where there are lots of grants, although some of them might not be for export. And I know that you have to write grant applications, and you need to write really good grant applications. So there's a whole technical aspect of that part. And many people cannot write grant applications. That's the truth. Even me, I'm struggling with it, although I'm writing one correctly, but it's not easy. I've had sleepless nights over this thing. So how do you support? Because it's one thing to say you have grants available, but how do you allow the women to access it? How do you empower them to access it?
Okay, thank you, madam. As I mentioned earlier, we bring in women and the bodies together. But the women, we train them. We have instructors. Okay. We have programs for the women that guide them through. And they'll also select from the women. Not all the women have access to the grants. They have to meet certain criteria as the bodies want before they are qualified, profiled and qualified and presented to them. These, let me say we had 50 women, and from our profile, 15 are good in line with your requirements. It's left for them to pick how many women they prefer or want on the program. The training is done by instructors, qualified instructors. It's a program. You can last between 3 months to 6 months. We do that.
So there's a training for women?
Yes, ma'am.
So that they can be equipped to access the grants?
Yes.
Okay, I take your word for it because I'm coming to approach you on that. All right, we'll soon be directing questions to the audience, but Zara, yes, I want to hear from you.
Yes,
Zainab.
I just wanted to add to what she mentioned.
Yes.
A lot of times, people are skeptical when giving women loans and all of that, because collateral, because they don't know if they're going to pay or not. So the digital solution to that is the credit scoring system. Right. Using this artificial intelligence-based system where you check, has she ever done this, or what is the possibility or the possibility that she's going to default. And if you use that, you leapfrog and skip a lot of steps. It saves a lot of things for...
So it looks like Zainab was peeping into my notes. You did. Because I wrote their credit scores. I actually did. That how can we begin to use credit scores actually for women? We're talking about inclusion here. Even not for women alone. Credit scores are used globally, where you know that if you give this woman some amount, because of her rating, of her history, she will likely not default. And you can take your credit history to the bank, actually. I don't know whether you use that in EcoBank.
If there are startups or women who trade locally, they sell vegetables or fruits or small-time provision store, we kind of observe your turnover. It's a manual process for now. There's no tech in place for that. Because we want to be sure, let me say in a month, I make a sale of 150. If I take away my profits, I roll over what I want to buy again. Do I have spending funds? We check all that. So people will say, I can't pay. Say, madam, cool down. I don't want the case you take that small 100,000 and you cannot pay back. So you try to educate them, madam, if you make so and so sale, you have to reinvest so and so money and keep so and so for living expenses. If it's not there, we cannot deal. So it takes, let me say, continuous education. And what else again? Like learning and monitoring.
All right, so let me open the floor to the women. Let them ask questions. If you want to ask questions, any of our panelists, we have the banker, the delectable banker, we have the delectable techie, and we have Madam Gakon, our astute private sector exporter per excellence. So let's see, we need to ask them questions. Let's interrogate this conversation. Yes, somebody's hands is right up there. Any other hands? Like, if you have a question, let me see your hands up first of all, so that I know how this is going. So I have, oh, okay, I already have. Ma'am, can you raise it? I just want to count. Okay. So the lady in green first, you go first. Madam at the corner there too, yes. And I have, yes, then you 3, then ma'am in yellow 4. There's somebody here 5, all right? There's another person, oh, somebody's upstairs, 6, all right. Any other person on the gallery? Right. So number 1, can you ask your question, please?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
And, I'm very happy to be a part of this. I just came by chance. Thank you, my sister, for inviting me. My question is to Madam Gakon. She made mention of something I've been really curious about, which is contract farming. Currently, I'm not able to meet my demand for my products, and the only thing that can save me right now is to have contract farmers. But I'm scared. How do I ensure that things go the way they are supposed to be? We look at ourselves like everyone is a scammer. So if I'm giving you the inputs, I've given some people seeds already, but I'm thinking when I'm giving you fertilizer and the rest of the things, and then they come and tell you, I only have 10 kg of the product. So how are you able to control those sort of things from happening to your business? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Every panelist, please note the questions that have been directed to you. And if you have a question, just let us know who should answer that question. So you did well by saying it's Madam Gakon, and she's taking notes. So just take notes, and after we do the responses so that it's coordinated. So what's the name, please? Also mention your name. That's important. Yes. Mariam Adebayo. Okay, into frozen vegetables. So thank you for that. Mariam Adebayo is into frozen vegetables. Yes, number 2. Who is the second person? Yes, at the corner there.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name's Susuti Jewel Bulus, CEO DP Vintage. I produce spices. My question goes to the banker. How do we get to involve in the training that she talked about grant? Thank you.
All right. So I hope you've taken note of that. Oh, you should repeat the question. Please, can you repeat the question? Mention your name and what you do. Then the person the question is for, and then ask the question.
My name's Susuti Jewel Bulus. I'm into spice production. I said my question goes to the banker. She said she talked about grant and training has to be taking place. I now ask, how do we get involved?
Okay, thank you very much. Number 3? Yes, the lady in front. Who is with the microphone?
Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
My name is Asmao Tisa Adu, MD CEO, Koalas Farms. So my question is to the banker. I was a banker for 28 years, and I resigned as an AGM. I was on agri desk for a very long time. I know how it goes when it comes to facilities to women entrepreneurs. What I used to do in those days is make sure that they're into cooperative groups. I particularly directed my finances to civil servants because they were easier for me to manage, and I get my total repayment 100% because their salaries are based in my books. Now, what I've observed about we exporters now, I haven't been when you're in the bank, you're shielded. When you're in the world, you see that things are totally different. Totally different. Now, to approach a bank becomes very difficult for me because I know what the I's and the T's that have to be crossed are, and I know I'm not there yet. If I approach you as a start-up business, are you ready to finance me? Number 1 question. Number 2, we are talking of transactions over a period of time. I'm a fish farmer. I'm into processing as well. I've been using my small funds to run my fish ponds, my fish farming. It's not large. I would have loved to expand, but the finances are far in between. So if I approach you and I don't have an account in EcoBank, like I said, I have accounts in the banks I worked with over time. Can I give you statement of accounts from other banks? Can you cash in on that and use that to build up my relationship with you? I do that when I was in the bank for big time corporate people, corporate farmers. Then for entrepreneurs, we have an association. We call ourselves Nigerian Product Entrepreneurs, export people. It's another association within where, NEPC North. Can we come as a group and apply for the facility with you? What are the things you need from us? How much can you give us as a wholesome amount? What period would you give us for repayment? Can we enjoy single-digit interest? Would you put us on CBN, those CBN facilities, intervention funds? Can we enjoy that? So I really want to know all this before we come as a group and meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have asked the right questions, madam, and you will get the answers. Number 3, yes. Is it number 4? Yes, number 4.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mrs. Esther Adebayo. I'm the President, Women and Youth Exporters Initiative. I have a question, and I want to express my mind and my experience about the bankers. Sorry to say. Bankers in Nigeria, you have not been so fair with women. Through my experience, through what I went through in the hands of the bankers. Number 1, the FCMB said there is a 0% interest for women. But when you start the processing, you will even know that the interest may even come up to like 9 or 10%. That is insincerity, and it can't help us as women. Number 2, you bankers, you don't give starters. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. If a graduate come out of school newly and you want to give him or her job, you are asking how many years of experience? How do you want him to pick up? Next, I thought Nexim will be here today. Nexim that was even meant to help exporters, they have not done it. Even when it was directed that they should help women, if let's say they are here today, we should have asked them how many women exporters have they helped since 2017 after the business clinic made by the supervised by the vice president, because that time they chose about 5 of us women, and we were asked to go to Nexim. Mind you, I didn't fall out on time. I was on it for 1 year till 2018 before they told me that they can't give me because I've not taken any money before. I'm a starter and all the rest. Thank God the grant by NEPC came out, and that was what I've been able to use to start my export business. And now, thank God, with the help of what NEPC did for me, with that money they gave, now our members and even our products are right now in New York for this incubation flag off that is coming up on the 12th. If not for NEPC, we shouldn't have been able to do that. We have our youth that are very innovative, and they are producing things. Even when you see what they are producing, you will know that Nigerians, we are brilliant and we are going places. Please, women need help. Our children, our youth, they are coming up with many innovative, but they need help. When banks will not help starters, how will our youth grow? Even those of us that are their mothers, we are starters. Once we are just starting. That is my own experience. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. And I'm sure EcoBank is like, we're not like that. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Okay. So the next question, please. Number 5, yes, is at that side. And then the 6th person is upstairs, if I'm correct. Let's kiss. Keep it short and simple. Yeah.
Good day, House.
All right.
Once again, my name is Ade Adedeji. I represent Dado Services Limited. My 2 questions goes to Madam Zainab, Ajia Zainab, and the banker. Mrs. Ojo, I want to first appreciate you, ma. I'm a member of NEPC. Through you, I got to know about Mansa. A lot of programs I've attended through your organization. Well done, ma. You are doing well. Kudos to you. Madam Zainab, sorry, ma. January ending, I don't know where Nigeria will get there. I was in Jigawa and Kano to go for hibiscus. And this is when Emefiele started this program. My sister, I couldn't find it easy. I was weeping on the street of Kano when I saw my brother with their mat sleeping on the ATM looking for money. I just don't know how God did it for me. Because all these farmers, they are farmers like me, they are not ready. They don't even know anything about this transaction we are talking about. All what they know is their money. Money for hand, you carry your products, buy, go. It's not easy, oh. I don't know where Nigeria want to start or to end it. As you have said, you people have started enlightenment since 2011. I've not seen the work, oh. Maybe in Kaduna, here in Abuja, in Lagos. But in the extremeness of Nigeria, nowhere to be found. Maybe 2-3 ATM in a capital of a state. Then by the time you go into the interior, nothing like transaction with digital. So please, you will enlighten me how you people have started and when you are aim to get there. Help us by Mr. Emefiele. Let them revise this thing. It can't work for the next 2 years. I'm telling you the truth.
All right.
Thank you, Hans. My sister banker, I don't know. Zenith has been here. Access has been here. FCMB has been here. There is a woman, Deborah, if she's in the hall, she will have been the one to face you, ma. Me, I don't know. You will say 20% if you have 2 million. When NEPC give you grant, kudos to NEPC. I'm still taking it. Yeah. Yes, they're trying their best, but we still need more help. Because product go higher every day. Even though if you are a farmer, chemical price to do insecticide is not easy. To pay workers, to buy product, my dear, please, ma, please, you need to look into it. That product you said you will now have for we women. My company is a distributor to rice, locally made rice. Still yes, maybe now 1,500 we go gain on top of a bag. Then how do we want to meet the standard you set? I will want you to go back to your clothes and look into the standard. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to once again thank the chair and the panelists for doing so well. I am Dr. Mrs. Victoria King Nwachukwu, MD, MAMP Global. My question, first of all, goes to EcoBank. Yes, you said you have Elevate and you train. I want to know, who are your target beneficiaries and how do they get the information? Very important, because it needs to be inclusive so that everybody will have access. How do you give information to the target beneficiaries? Then, secondly, I'm addressing GACON now. Actually, our experience with the commercial banks has been so demoralizing, and you did point to that fact. So, we are here to gather experience, we are here to improve, and we're here to get better. So, we would like to get your experience on how you were able to surmount the absence of help from these commercial banks. How did you finally, get there? I know you mentioned USAID, but we need to have access to the information on how to get started with, trying to access grants. So we'll be glad to have that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. We've taken the last question. I'm turning now to you, panelist. EcoBank, I think you would go first. That'll be good. Thank you. Let's try and make it punchy. Yes.
Thank you, women. Thank you for these awesome questions. I want to start with the spice production lady, Miriam. Am I right? Yeah, I can see you. Okay. You were asking, how do I get involved in the Elevate training? First of all, if you're a woman-owned business or women-focused business, you qualify. You qualify. But the first thing to do is we will meet with you, we check what you do, we onboard you. And once we onboard you, we mark you on the database as an Elevate woman. All the accounts you open in EcoBank, anyone tagged Elevate, there's a code for all Elevate accounts. So via SMS and via email and visitation, we get to give you update on what is happening, when and how the training will hold. If it's physically or virtually, you'll be informed. I hope it helps. Okay, Grandma. Where's Grandma in yellow?
She's there.
Yes. Yes. Okay, Ma, your question, Mrs. Esther Adebayo. Hope I'm right. Okay. You mentioned about how do we give loans to startups? Because we've had issues in the past from commercial banks. First of all, yes, Nigerians, the youths we have are quite bright. They have wonderful ideas. But when they present them, we have people that need to go through, profile, and ask certain questions. Where are you? What have you done? What are your goals, your milestones? To help us know this is not just a mere fantasy. You are here to work. Can you be persistent enough, consistent enough, put in the effort to see to the end? Most youth that come to us, halfway, they quit easily. But a few of them, like in EcoBank, we have some programs for youth who are into fashion designing, filmmaking, video making, arts and crafts. They also get trainings. And those of them who are able to pass through the process and finish well will be able to get access to this loan. Because most of the time, halfway, they drop out. I'm sorry to say that. Then we also have startups that EcoBank qualify to get the loans or facilities. But in most cases, you're not giving the actual amount you're asking for. Are we on the same page? Sometimes you say, okay, I want 50 million to start ABC. Can you sustain it? What we do is this. The ones I was part of, between 100,000 and 2 million, we watch you. If you can roll over 100,000, it's up to 500,000. If you can roll over 500,000, it's moved to 1 million. We want to see that you can do it. Because in most cases, we have a high rate of defaulters. They will say, my picking was sick, something happened though, and stories. And the staff involved in this loan profiling are held accountable. So most times they are afraid to go further and being open here. Then something they mentioned here. You said, Madam that owns a fish farm, you are asking for forms for expansion. Madam, yes. In most cases, we address cooperatives We don't go to individuals. So if you're a baker, a fashion designer, whatever you are, you have to belong to a cooperative. It's a qualification. So you approach us as a group. Either we meet with you or we meet at a middle and we discuss extensively what do you want as a cooperative and what does your members want individually. Can your ESCOs vouch for Mrs. A? Can your ESCO vouch for Ms. B? Those things are very important. But most cases, when they default, we hold the ESCOs of the cooperative. And to me, it's not a good event at all. But most cases, come as a group, as a cooperative. We can meet anywhere in Abuja. If it's outside Abuja, we have people in the regional offices that can come meet you physically. And we discuss extensively what we can offer, what you want, and we'll certainly meet at the middle. It is still doable, ma. I know past we have experiences, the banks don't help startups, they crush dreams. But madam, let me be open. Do you know how many staff that have lost their job due to bad loans? It's not easy. It's not easy. I came here open, I came here as a woman, as a sister and a friend. I'm saying, let's make it plain. Let's just discuss. We will meet somewhere. We will certainly meet somewhere, and from there, we make progress. Madam in black hat, I am sorry. If we had wronged you in the past, or we have crushed your dreams in the past, we are very sorry. But you can still start afresh, ma. There's always a new day, and we move on. Thank you.
All right. We accept this apology. I hope apology has been accepted. Let's start on a clean slate. We're getting this right, and indeed we will. I believe so that we will. Madam Gakon, let's get to you on the answers to the questions.
Is it? Hello? Okay. Okay, I have two questions to attend to. One is from Dr. Victoria, who is wondering what our experience is like getting assistance, financial assistance outside of the commercial banks. I will start by telling you what it is like when we were working with commercial banks. Working with commercial banks, apology again, Madam Eco Bank, you discover that you're just working for the bank because your margin at best will just be enough to service that facility. If care is not taken, you will also end up with a hole in your pocket. So by the time you do your financials, you will know that it's not an option. Then for you to work with the international agencies, it means you must be a serious-minded, focused, determined, result-oriented business house. What do I mean by this? You need to have a management structure, organizational structure. You have your finances. You remove yourself from your business. It means running that business, even if you're the sole owner, you must be on a salary. You do things right. You don't bring emotion into the runnings of your business. Because the international agencies, they are going to come, go through your organizational structure, check all this to ensure that they are in place. And when they give you the grant, if they are satisfied and they give you the grant, you know, they won't let you out of their sight for 1 second. They follow through with you to ensure that the purpose for which that grant is given is accomplished. Also, that is what we are asking for our own local NEPC and CBN. When you give us grants, not for the ones given, but we are asking for more avenue for you to give us grants. Let there be personnel that can handhold work through whoever that grant has been given to ensure that the purpose is accomplished. So I hope I've addressed that question.
Yes.
Then, number 2 is Madam Miriam, who is wondering how we have managed to cope with contract farming. If the truth must be said, it's not a road that you want to, dole out all your resources into without having your checks and balances. What we have done is that if a woman is going to be given, say an assistant, her guarantor will be her husband and her son, plus the chairman or secretary of the cooperative association she belongs to. And I can tell you that has worked well. I wouldn't also tell you that there has not been cases of defaults. We have had cases of defaults here and there. And when you check out, those women, when they borrow from their local thrift societies, they don't also pay. So the credit history is important. Then the question was not directed to me, but the woman, our sister that is into fish farming, when you're talking about export products, I advise women to look for safe products. Look for safe products, because if you start with the one that will not clear your capital, it will discourage you so much so that you don't want to go into it. There are safe products that you can venture into. Then when you find your footing, you can now expand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Zainab, did you have any questions? That was a question for you. Okay, so let's take that because we're about wrapping this up.
Yes.
You have a question for her. Okay. So what are the safe products? You talked about safe products. So she's asking, what are the safe products? Oh, you want to stay safe? Don't be safe here. Let's talk about
Safe products are those that have longer shelf life.
Yeah. That's it.
I would say that's a broad definition for it, that have longer shelf life. You're not worried that if it's a perishable commodity, you're running the risk of even losing value. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And as she was answering you, in my mind, I'm like, bankers, you need to start consulting exports. Yeah, we need to be on your team, advising you on, yes, for a fee. She said it. We will charge you, but you will get very good advisory. So let's sign up. We got to talk about that. Zainab, can you answer your question?
Yes, I'd like to answer what she asked
concerning
her experience, your experience in Jigawa or Kano, something like that. So, you see, these things are more of policy issues. But then, are we going to sit down and wait for the government to change the policy? Or are we going to do something about it?
Right.
So, which leads me to just this, the Tekiva hackathon. Yes.
Can you put the thing in your mouth well, because we're about to hear the real gist.
Yeah, yes. So, it's this pain that actually made us say, can we have a platform that women can trade, even if they're in remote places in Jigawa? Something they can do, trade by barter. No, okay, I can do my transactions on that platform as long as I belong to that network of women. Can we do something to help ourselves? Even if the government says, okay, tomorrow there is no, it's cashless. Can we help ourselves and do something for ourselves? So we're not going to wait. We as entrepreneurs should do something. We have to look for a way out. But at the same time, still, we have to advocate for the government to change or to lower or to become softer so that we're able to, understand.
I know you're saying this and you're really smiling because you can see the prospects already. I know the next session is experience sharing, And I was told that you should just share your experience now if you really want to share it, so that we can save time on the next session. So you'll be the final, you'll be the almost wrapping this up, because we're about wrapping up this session right now. So tell us, share the experience. Let's hear it before time. Let's move you up.
So let's see, I'll just start from March 2001, when there was an event here, a roundtable session with Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So I was part of the delegation that NEPC Free Trades invited. Like, I was lucky to come here. I watched and I listened to what she said, and it actually inspired me. It made me feel there's nothing I cannot do in this world. I can aspire to become anything I want to. Do I want to go to space? I can go to space. So that was in March. So in June, the call came out for that challenge. How can you leverage technology? How can women entrepreneurs leverage technology to, leverage technology to help empower, I think I have it somewhere. Yes, the challenge. How can women entrepreneurs leverage technology to accelerate the transition, to an inclusive and green economy? So I was really excited because that was a question that has been really bothering me. So first is about the technology, then inclusion and green economy. So the first question was, what kind of technology am I going to, or are we going to use that will beat everybody in Nigeria first, and then everybody in Africa, and then globally? So we started thinking with my team. We started asking questions. What kind of technology did we have? What are women, what is the status of women as at now? Some women are not even, especially in the rural areas, they're not tech savvy. So whatever we're going to do, we have to do it very simple. So the next question was the inclusion, women. So we decided to have a platform that would have women in that platform. That platform would have all those women being able to interact with each other, share resources, be able to buy and sell their products, be able to have resources, get trainings, do a lot of stuff, online, offline, etc. Then the green economy. Green economy has to do with lowering the carbon footprint. So we decided we would do renewable energy. Renewable energy using the sun, we can generate electricity. If you generate electricity, then you're able to use that electricity for free. If you're in the rural area, you don't have to look for electricity to do milling. You don't have to look for electricity to do whatever kind of electricity-based venture you want to. So you are able to use your solar panels, connect. If you connect to your solar panels, you have lights in your homes. If you have too much light, you can sell to your neighbor. Your neighbor, since you have too much sun and the sun has given you enough for your home, you sell to your neighbor. If you have products, you sell to your neighbor. If you have so many things, the opportunities are immense.
Yes, immense. So
if this thing comes up, then we start thinking of another thing. We add them. So in September, we were reduced to 9 teams. We got in the 9 teams, 9 teams. Then in November, it was November 25th, it was my birthday, I woke up and I saw, oh, you're part of the 5 finalists. And it was a happy moment, but at the same time, 5 teams. There's Trinidad and Tobago, there's Dubai, UAE, there's a lot of really, really hot teams. So we're like, how can we compete? Can we look for what these people have? What do they have? What industry expertise do they have that would be able to, that we can see, look, and do better? When we saw the teams, based on the pitches the teams were doing, we saw they had everything. In fact, the PowerPoint presentations they were displaying, we at some point we were a bit demoralized. But then NEPC came to our aid. We had the focal persons for NEPC, Madam Esther and Sarah and Sharifat. So they helped us, they inspired us, we continued. And that was how we were reduced to 3 teams. At the end, we had the final presentation. So the edge we had was that inclusion, that energy, that everybody, all the women, how can we do this? That sustainability, that scalability, anywhere you are in the world, you'll be able to access that platform, wherever it is, however it is. If you're a woman, if you want to join, you do whatever you want. That's the end.
Wow, let's put our hands together for them. That was good. And you did us proud. So what's this platform, if we were to access it? What's the platform? What's the
platform?
Link to that?
Kallabi.co.uk.
Can you spell that?
Okay.
Kallabi.
Kallabi. Kallabi.
Kallabi, okay.
Yes, Kallabi for scarf.
Okay.
Yes.
Kallabi.
But it's we brought it down yesterday. Yes,
So, yes.
yes.
But it's coming back up.
But it's coming up back today, yes.
But it's good that we note it because it's connecting women.
Kallabi.co.uk.
That's critical.
Yes, yes, yes.
So thank you so much. This is something really that we're very proud of. That you're able to knock out other countries and rise to the very top. And here you're creating solutions for women. So we're wrapping this up right now. Thank you so much. Our 30 seconds close up. I know Zainab has been speaking, so you won't have to say anything again because we're ending this. But I'm sure Madam Gakon has a 30 seconds. 30 seconds because we need to just get up and go in. 30 seconds. Any parting words?
Thank you.
30 seconds, oh, I meant it.
Thank you, top management of NEPC and the rest of the staff for this very beautiful outing, the first of its kind, a maiden edition. I was so impressed and excited when the CEO said it's going to be an annual event. So, sir, I request to commemorate today, like a memorial, that NEPC establishes a non-oil exports laboratory. It's going to be an information hub for the upcoming women exporters. It will be something like this. You did that already, but it's going to be a laboratory where somebody can walk in, look at the different stages, ask questions, and then I think it will be a plus to what you're doing already. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. That's a great takeaway. EcoBank, do you have a 30 seconds parting words? See, I'm already moving off my seat.
Thank you, my mothers, my sisters, my friends. And I want to leave one word for us. I always tell myself this word. I said, be like water. Be like water. Nothing stops you. Nothing stops you. Once there's a wall, you still flow the other way and make a way out. So anytime we are stuck in our businesses, we are frustrated, we are angry, tell yourself, I am water. I move. I cannot be stopped. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a great way to end this. Whenever you meet challenge, just tell yourself, I am water. Nothing can stop me. And while we're at it, I was looking at the quotes here. And there's one that keeps coming to my view, and that is, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. That's a very powerful quote. So every woman that has come here today, take time to read through all these quotes. So they're powerful quotes. But that one says, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And that is the story of Zainab, actually. It challenged her, and it changed her. And now she's built a legacy product for every one of us to benefit from. So thank you very much. NEPC, the kudos were just so loud. Everywhere we go, we hear it. Thank you so much for what you do for the exporters community, especially for women. Please, can we rise? Do we have a photograph after this? All right. Thank you.
Panelists and the moderator will now have a photograph session with the management of NEPC and the ED CEO. Let's appreciate them one more time as they go to take their seats. Thank you so much, our dear moderator. Thank you to our panelists for sharing knowledge, for not holding back, for inspiring us and educating us. And like I said, I'm sure a lot of us will be mentored after now and will move forward in our businesses. I want to thank all of us for being very patient. You have been very patient and you have been awesome participants. And in another 10 to 15 minutes, we'll be done and we'll be out of here. So quickly, we have one of our major support women organizations, the Organization of Women in International Trade. Their representative is here to share a few words with us in very few minutes. Please let's appreciate Mrs. Queen Oseriaha as she comes to share a few words with us. I know we're tired, but please let's clap. Thank you.
Thank you, the leadership of the NEPC. Thank you, the organizers of this event. What a time to be a woman. It's such a great time to be a woman. Years ago, when, for those of us in the manufacturing space, we didn't have much people to look up to. You know, we didn't have people to inspire us. We had so much barriers. It was a good time for us to give up because you didn't know how to get your NAFDAC and you can't be asking the big boys. You know, those were the Dufil Foods and the rest of them that had dominated the space. So we came into the space and we decided to do it afraid, not knowing what to do. So BIMCAF was one of those in the space as well, where a few people at that time, you know, struggling to get on with packaging, even developing a product that could stand out. You know, so looking at everybody now and the exhibition stand, seeing what's going on, it's such an exciting time to be a woman. You know, you don't have a choice than to inspire yourself. There's so much inspiration out there. If you don't want to do it, it's because you choose not to. You know, you can learn from anyone. BIMCAF is always there to give it out for free. You know, she's looking for people to mentor and then to groom. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm representing OWIT Nigeria. This is a goodwill message from my president, Madam Blessing Oza. She's unavoidably absent. She's in ECOWAS as we speak. That's in Togo. They're having this ECOWAS conference around trade. She has asked me to represent her here. I've learned so much from the panelists, the first session and the second session. It's such an interesting conversation we've had. Taking down a few notes as well, so we'll take it all from there. The Organization of Women International Trade, OWIT, Nigeria, facilitates with and congratulates all women on this August occasion of the celebration of International Women's Day 2023. We are excited that a day a bit insufficient is set aside to annually celebrate the strength and beauty of women the world all over. We are even more excited that as the years go by, the world has increasingly accorded recognition to women in various spheres of life and has continued to recognize why women matter in the society and why they should be afforded equal opportunities for self-expression, development, and accomplishment. The global event has grown from strength to strength and has become an event which brings women and all other stakeholders together to promote and advocate for more cohesive and coordinated intervention towards effectively addressing the strategic and critical needs of women in the social and political, also economic spheres and processes. Each year, a relevant theme is identified and the theme most appropriate. This year's theme, Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, speaks to address technology issues and how it can be gender neutral. If we embrace it in our day-to-day activities as women, we will then be able to create technology that cares for everyone and access according to their needs. Technology is a key driver of aggregate economic growth through development improvement, but it contributes to economic growth, varies greatly across countries in the area of trade. Technology improvements have proven to increase efficiency, open up new markets, and ensure inclusivity through meaningful participation of women in digital economy. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, that's AI, and blockchain will impact the future trade, and advancement can vastly improve the aggregate supply of many industries, promoting lower prices and higher outputs. We see that the digitalization is reducing the cost and participating in trade. It can potentially be new opportunities for women to participate in trade. We, however, recognize, nurture, and this is why we call for equitable differences in access of resources and ICT capabilities, and addressing these obstacles so that benefits accruing from digital trade will be equally distributed. We're wishing all a happy celebration. We employ all to embrace equity if we are to make things work for everyone. I wish you all a beautiful celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, OIT Nigeria. And quickly, we're trying to round off almost immediately. I want to confirm if there's anyone here that's interested in Elevate program by EcoBank. They have their representative at the back. Can I see your hands? She's at the back. She's wearing a blue dress just by the door, the entrance. If you're interested, just after we'll finish and round off at the moment, you can go meet her. Please, is Mumin Foods here? Is she here? Mumin Foods? She's... Please, can I... Where... What? Mumin Food. Is she here? Okay, we want to move on quickly to the vote of thanks. And for that, I want to invite Barrister Omoke, Mrs. Barrister Julie Omoke, NEPC Legal Unit. Please, ma, come up for the vote of thanks. Please, if you check your files that we gave you while you were doing registration, there is a form inside. We'll really appreciate if you can fill the forms and then submit before you leave the event. That's our feedback form. Thank you very much.
Hello. It's a beautiful day. I cannot remember when last I attended a program and have the hall filled to capacity from beginning to the end. I want us to give ourselves a hand of applause. I want to lean on the existing protocol because so many of us have been standing on it. I, on behalf of the ED CEO, management and staff of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, wish to express our profound gratitude to our moderators, the panelists, representatives of various women groups, and all our invitees. Without you, this program will have been a big flaw. We thank you for coming to grace the occasion, to add to the color, and to make it a successful outing. We believe that we have all learned one or two things today. It's a beautiful day to be a woman, and we are all proud to be women. And on behalf of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, I wish you once again a happy Women's Day. Thank you. Also, there is lunch. Please do not leave until you have your lunch. There are 3 points, just like we had during the breakfast. One to our left, one to our right, and one upstairs. Please avail yourself and satisfy yourself. Thank you once again.
And then with that, we come to an end to this event today. Officially, myself and Amma, we are signing out from being your host. And then we want to say thank you very much for your time and participation. So as you have your lunch, please we'll pray for your journey back home. It will be safe, and then as Edie promised, we'll be seeing you very soon. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, and God bless you.